part, Maryland's Governor Larry Hogan avoided taking a hardline stance on the prospect of Syrian refugees settling in Maryland.
Even so, state Democrats are calling his position reactionary fear-mongering. 11 News reporter George Lattis is live in Federal Hill with the details. George.
Well, Donna and Kate, we don't know how many refugees may come here or when that would happen, but two state delegates we talked to tonight represent just how polarizing this has become. After saying Monday he would take a reasoned approach to incoming Syrian refugees, Governor Larry Hogan issued this statement today, quote, "I am requesting that federal authorities cease any additional settlements of refugees from Syria in Maryland until the U.S. can provide appropriate assurances that refugees from Syria pose no threat to public safety."
I'm flabbergasted by it and extremely disappointed.
Brooke Learman is a Democratic state delegate and a civil rights attorney.
There have been thousands and thousands of refugees admitted since 9/11. Not one of them has committed an act of domestic terrorism.
I would say this: I would prefer fear-mongering to stupidity.
Pat McDonough is a Republican state delegate who says Governor Hogan did not go far enough.
One of the things the governor can do is issue an executive order like the governor of Texas and Alabama did, where he said that I will not, or the state will not, provide any state taxpayer benefits or funding to these folks. And I think that would discourage people from even wanting to come here.
Today, the Attorney General was one of several Obama administration officials promising the refugee background and vetting process is strong, and the 10,000 Syrians coming into the U.S. will get extra scrutiny.
I have no reliance on the opinion or the judgment of this administration. Remember, this is the same president that said 2 weeks ago, ISIS has been contained.
Being admitted as a refugee or an asylee in the United States is one of the most difficult tasks to undertake. It can take up to 3 years to be admitted. So if you're a terrorist, coming to America as a refugee is not the way to go.
And according to Governor Hogan's office, in the last 4 years, 40 Syrian refugees have settled in Maryland. We're live in Baltimore City. George Lattis, WBAL, TV 11 News.